All right, welcome to another edition of Friday Drive Thru. Though it's not Friday, and we're going to explain why that is. I'm James, and this is. Who are you this
summer.
week?
I'll just be summer.
Oh, I like fuchsia.
No, but I'm tired. I'm so tired. It's been a long.
It's been a long week. Boy, has it been
a long weekend.
It's been a really long week and a super long weekend, and oh my God, it's just been friggin' crazy.
So it's crazy how it's always one thing after another. Does anybody ever have a nice, normal, oh my God, it's been boring week?
I don't think so.
I'm not sure I can even remember that being a thing. Has that ever been a thing? I feel like when we were young, it was very routine and things were pretty boring for a while. Well, we were too broke to go anywhere or do anything.
Oh yeah, when we were first married.
All we did was go to work.
We were so poor.
And I had time on my hands because I didn't really have kids to take care of.
Yeah.
Or a house that really, especially when you were in the Army, because you would leave for a few days. I cleaned the house, it stayed clean, that was it. And it was very relaxing when I look back on it now. At the time, I'm sure I didn't feel that way about it.
Yeah.
But I totally feel that way about it now. It's like, it sounds so nice.
We also have all these gremlins that live in our house too. So many gremlins. So many.
What were we thinking?
2 daughters, a son, and my son's girlfriend or whatever.
You need a phrase for that. Like, I don't want to say daughter-in-law because they're not married and that's too much. But saying my son's girlfriend all the time is a lot. I feel like I'm saying my best friend's neighbor's cousin.
We could just say GF.
GF?
My son's GF.
My son's GF.
My son's Goof. Goof.
I remember the first time I saw the abbreviation SIL, and I was like, "You're Sil. What the hell is a Sil? Son-in-law. Oh, okay. It took me a while to get
I didn't even know what that was.
Yeah, you have mother-in-law, son-in-law.
That would be a Mill, Phil, Sil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
Cousin-in-law.
put IL after it.
Cousin-in-law would be Kill. Yeah, I remember.
With a C?
Yeah, I remember.
Not a thing. I don't think you can have a
She came over and she just had kill. She was a kill.
Goodness, I'm a rat. What?
Anyway, why are we not filming this on a Friday night like we always do? DoorDash. I blame DoorDash. 100% DoorDash. Oh my God, Friday night was a train wreck. That's a good. I was gonna say a shit show, like the lady from CNN. What was her name?
Dana Bash.
Dana Bash.
The shit show.
Dana Bash was asked a question about one of the.
Love Dana Bash. She's awesome. Like, just spit it out, say it like it is. I love that.
Dana Bash is right to the point. Yeah, there was one of those presidential debate, and the moderator years ago. Yeah, it was like
it's been a long time now. And she
oh my
was
God, like
let's
a
not
long
beat around
time
the
ago.
bush. That was a shit show.
That was a shit show when she was asked by the moderator, "What did you think
of
of this?"
My favorite, like CNN.
It was a shit show.
Yeah, CNN.
She goes, "We can say that. We're a cable." And I was like, "Oh my God!"
Yeah,
so for years. Every time I see her on
she
TV,
must have been on one of like Bill Maher's shows or something because he's always like, "It's cable, it's fine." And so she was like, "Wait a minute, we're cable too."
For years, she'd come on TV because she had a show, and I'd be like, "Oh, there's Dana shit show Bash." Yeah. Anyway, I digress. It was a shit show. It was a train wreck, whatever you want to call it. It was terrible. So, the last order of the night. Yeah, it was the last order of the night. Yeah, I was like, "Oh, the sun's setting." And I'm going to take one more order. Just one more. Just one. Every time I say I'm just going to take one more order, I'm all tired.
In the movies where they're like, it's just my last job. And those bad
and then
guys.
I'm done. Then I'm out. But I'm like I'm super tired. I'd worked all day at my normal job. And then I went out and DoorDashed, and I was like, and I was tired. I did a bunch of runs.
And you were cranky because it had been really bad the night before.
Yeah.
You went out the night before.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a good night. I don't think you're more about the money so much as you just want it to be busy because you love doing it.
Yeah, I like it when it's busy.
Slow, and you get super cranky when it's slow.
I do. I get cranky when it's slow at DoorDash, but when it's hopping and popping, I love it because I get into a flow. I get into a rhythm. But I'm really tired. I'd been delivering for a while. And like I said, I'd worked my regular day job, so I was already like 12 hours in of work or whatever, 10 hours, 12 hours, I don't know what it was. But I was like, I'm going to take one more and then I'm going to call it a night. And every single time I say I'm going to take one more order when I'm tired, it turns into this shit show, into this train wreck. So I get to the McDonald's, and they're just, I accept the order, and I get to the McDonald's, and I walk in there, and they're getting hammered. And I should have known when I couldn't park out front that I had to park like...
Yeah, I don't think that's ever happened before.
Yeah, every time I take a McDonald's order, I always just park up front, and I walk in, and I grab the order. Well, when the whole front was full, and the most of the parking lot was full, it didn't click on me until I walked into the store, and they were getting slammed. They were getting it handed to them. It was terrible. So I'm in there, and there's another dasher in there, and he's waiting, and I says, "Been here long?" And he goes, "Yeah, I've been here 20 minutes." And I was like, oh, my soul, my heart, my being, my essence just fell.
Oh,
just
all that,
dropped.
was it?
Yes, it was. When a dasher, when you go in and you see another dasher and you're like, "Hey, how long have you been here?" Most of the time they're like,
2 minutes.
"Yeah, I've been here a couple minutes," and then then they get their order and they're gone. But when they say, "I've been here 15 minutes, I've been here 20 minutes, I've been here 30 minutes," you're like, "Oh no, why did I accept that order? Oh my God,
how do I get out of this?
How do I?" So anyway, he said he's been there for a long time, and I was like, okay, whatever. So I go and I sit down because I got arthritis in this knee here, in one of my knees. So I'm like, I'm not going to stand at this counter all night. Oh, but before, I digress. I screwed up here. When I first came in, I walked up to the counter, and I waited and I waited and I waited and waited, and nobody behind the counter would walk up to the point of sale and acknowledge me. Like I said, they're getting... Nobody's working the point of sale tonight. That's crazy. Me and this other dasher have been standing here for about 10 minutes waiting for somebody to acknowledge our existence. Like I said, they're getting hammered. So then I walked over to the other driver because I saw his phone, and I could see his screen, and I knew he was a dasher because he had the app open. I says, "How long you been here?" He says, "I've been here 20 minutes. I was like, oh my God, it's the end of the world. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go sit down. So I go sit down, and I'm listening for them to call out the order, because that's usually what they do. They'll walk up and they'll put the bag on the counter there, and they say DoorDash for $3.75 or whatever, because McDonald's is the only place that uses codes. All the other places just yell out the person's name that the DoorDash orders for. So I'm like, I'm going to sit down. I'll wait for them to call it out because I'm going to be here for a while, whatever. And then I hear the manager say to the crew, "Make the DoorDash orders last."
Loudly.
Loudly. She said it loudly because they're busy, and she has to yell loud enough so the crew could hear it. Well, the dasher that was standing at the counter, not only did I hear it, the guy at the counter, the dasher at the counter, heard it.
The guy been there 2 minutes before.
And he went off. And I got some video. Well, you can't hear what he's saying, but you can see him getting kind of a little bit animated in the video. So this dasher's in here, and he heard the manager say, "Make all the DoorDash orders last." So he's not a happy camper. So we're all just sitting here, just waiting on the orders. In the video, and he's yelling at the manager, "Hey, what do you mean make the DoorDash orders last? That's bullshit. No." So he's all mad.
Losing his mind.
And I'm like, yeah, that's really uncool. Why? I don't understand why. Now I've seen restaurants do this before. Mm-hmm. There's another one down the street that I'm not going to mention, but I've seen it when people come in, they put the DoorDash orders aside, and they'll make the freaking people that walk in. So my question is why do people that order online get pushed to the back of the line? Isn't their order just as important?
You know what I would learn from that is if I was ordering is don't order from that place because it takes forever.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess online customers just aren't that important or get the same level of respect that online orders. And here's the thing that really makes the DoorDashers, the Dashers, or the Uber Eats drivers, the Grubhub drivers really kind of, hot, kind of pissed off, is that we don't get paid by the hour. No, we get paid by tips. So if we're standing in the restaurant for 20, 30 minutes, we're not making any money, none whatsoever. So anyway, that's my rant. That is why we're making this video, because by the time I got out of there, I was beat. I was like, and I had to go deliver the order. And I was just like, I'm just going to go home. Screw this. I'm going
to tell you, you were there so long that I actually I was thinking about going inside because I wait in the car. And I'm like, maybe I should go inside and check on him. He's been there a really long time. I had no idea how long it was. So I was like, I'm goofing off on my phone. After a while, I'm like, he's been there a long time. And then I text you, and you texted, I can't remember what you texted me. That was taking forever. And I was like, are you okay? Because I was thinking, I'm like, are they being robbed in there? And then you never responded. And I was like, should I call the police? Like, what is happening? But no. Oh, I got to tell you, before I tell you my Karen story, there's kids over here across in the park running through the sprinklers. And I thought, oh, that's so cute. And then I realized there's signs everywhere that says they just see. You can't see this one over here right by us because it's bent.
Let me switch cameras.
The signs, the big yellow signs over here, I don't know if you can see those because there's one in front of us, but it's bent over.
Yeah, they're out. The signs are
saying that they seated and they're not walking the grass.
And so they're out there walking in the grass.
They're running into the grass, and I don't know why those kids are in their swimsuits. I don't know. So teenagers, when I say kids, I mean teenagers, running through the grass. And they're having a good time. And I was thinking, oh, that's so cute. Look at the teenagers playing in the water. But I didn't realize they're probably only doing it because it says they can't, right?
Yeah, that's how I was when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Don't tell me I can't do something because then I'm going to go do it.
It was just a normal day, and we were allowed to be on the grass, and the sprinkles were running, which I don't know if they do during the day, honestly. I think they just run at night. But I think they're running during the day because of they seeded. So the kids are like, oh, we can't go over there, right?
So you know what I like is when I got back in the car and I told Summer the story about what happened at McDonald's. What did you do?
I was Karen.
Yeah, you were.
I was like, oh, that's terrible. Let me text the area supervisor. And you're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I have the area supervisor. We text.
She has his number.
I have his number saved on my phone.
The McDonald's area supervisor's number in her phone and in her contacts.
I do have it in my phone. I am Karen. Hello. My name is Karen. I have a problem. I report these things. So, yeah, we had a problem years ago, and they kept telling us we could go through the drive-thru and order coffee at night. They'd be like, oh, the coffee is turned off. It's too late. We don't serve coffee at night. And I was like, what do you mean you don't serve coffee at night? So I filled out a survey and said, hey, if you're not going to serve coffee at night, you need to post the hours on the sign so we don't go through the drive-thru. And we're like, never mind. It was annoying. So I filled this out, and the area supervisor called me or texted me. I don't even remember now. And was like, no, we always serve coffee. If we're open, there's coffee. They are not allowed to do that. There are not hours on the coffee. And so they fixed it. So yeah, so I have the area supervisor's phone number. So when, McDonald's gets stupid, I text him.
They're friends now.
Because the manager is an idiot. And I feel bad because they turn over managers in there. They have teenagers working in there. So I don't hold any of that against them. That's fine. They're teenagers. Most of them, it's their first job. That's understandable. I'm not going to any supervisors over to something like that. But when the manager is stupid, or I go through the drive-thru multiple times and they tell me, oh no, we don't have coffee or we don't have whatever because they just don't want to make coffee at night, which I'm sorry, that's your job. People get off the freeway to get coffee because this place is pretty near the freeway. So yeah, they can't do that.
Yeah, 100%.
Not like going in through 5 minutes to close, mind you. This is like hours before they close.
Yeah, I know. A lot of people don't drink coffee at night, but me and you do.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I'm definitely a nighttime.
I was like, whatever. I like to go to a place and like at the end of the day,
Enough people have ADD now that they should just serve coffee at night.
So yeah, I don't sit around and drink whiskey at night or beer or any of that stuff. I'll just go out and get a coffee. So yeah, so when the place is closed, it's kind of like, what? Why are you closed?
What? You don't have
Whatever.
coffee?
I guess it's just not that popular.
You know,
thing.
Starbucks closes at like 5 o'clock at night or something stupid. They're never open.
Yeah,
Which
truth.
I don't understand. If you're going to serve dessert coffees, those frappuccinos and stuff, that is not a breakfast item. You should be open later. But
Missed opportunity.
yeah. Yeah.
Hey,
I wanna go out
maybe
for
they're
coffee
cutting
after dinner.
back on profits.
Yeah, they're definitely cutting back on profits. All these places that don't have anywhere to sit. I'm sorry, you know, I guess after dinner coffee used to be like a normal thing. I don't know if I'm just old. I feel like I'm not that old. But when did they stop doing coffee after dinner? You know, dessert and coffee and all that stuff.
Yeah, I don't know.
So like when we go out on a date,
My parents always did that.
ideally, a perfect date, you go out to dinner and then you go to the movies and then you go out for dessert and coffee.
Yeah.
It's really hard to do that these days.
I guess we're old.
Yeah,
We're old.
it's hard to find places. I'd love to go to like a Starbucks type of coffee shop for that. That would be perfect. And then because they didn't do it, we go to Denny's, which would not be my first choice. But now the Denny's is gone. Everything's closing around here, but we're not allowed to talk about that because if you talk about that to anyone who lives here, you're wrong. There's nothing wrong with this area. It's not declining.
Suburb problems.
We are down to 3 fast food places to choose from because everybody's closed. Jack in the Box is gone. Like, it's Del Taco even closed, and they've been here since before. I mean, I think they were here when it was middle of nowhere because it was that Del Taco and that Denny's was probably here even before they built the stupid outlets, which I know was here before the houses.
Yeah, that was the very
names.
first thing that was out here.
This town wasn't here, and Denny's is gone now, and Del Taco just closed. So that poor hotels over there with no restaurants, and those were there before this town was here.
Yeah,
So that's kind of sad. Makes me sad.
makes me
So
sad
yeah,
too.
I went on Karen, and the guy said he'd take care of it. He's very nice. He's a very nice guy. So I don't know. Managers don't misbehave. People are watching. I'm always like that. People get stupid with me on the phone, and I'm like, you know, you're going to send me a survey, stupid.
And she'll fill them out.
We'll fill them out. I write down your name. So yeah, it's a thing.
100%.
I've been known to get people in trouble.
So, talking about DoorDash, another funny thing kind of happened. I think it was the day before. What was that? Thursday? I think it was Thursday. No, maybe it was
I don't remember when it was.
last Saturday. It was last Saturday. That's when it was. I go into the Filiberto's. Okay, it's lunch rush. I remember it was lunch rush. So I go into the I get an order to Filiberto's. I go to Filiberto's. I go in there. I tell them who I am. They're like, okay, a couple minutes, the order be ready. I was like, all right. So I go sit down, and then this guy walks up, this white guy. The place is full of Mexicans, okay?
They all speak Spanish.
Yeah.
They barely speak English.
They barely speak English, so they all go to the
Great food.
Filiberto's because everybody that works at Filiberto's speaks Spanish, which is cool. I get that. It's a cultural.
Makes sense.
It's a cultural thing, you know? You go
Perfectly
where you're
logical.
comfortable. I get it. And I love Filiberto's. So anyway, the guy comes in, this white guy comes in. Remember, this is the suburbs. Okay, so the Filiberto's, you got to understand, all the gardeners and the maids and everything that services this rich neighborhood that we live in, we're not rich. First of all, I want to clarify, we are not rich.
We've been here a long time.
There's 2 parts to the suburbs we live in. There's what's called Parkside, and the other side is called Country Club. Country clubs are all the rich people live,
It is
okay?
where all the-
And it's all gated and everything.
Parkside's where all the people who think they're rich live.
That's right. So all
There's
these,
a lot of people around here
there's
that
a lot of
think
snooty.
they have money but don't.
There's a lot of snooty people. We're not them. We're not rich.
It's so annoying.
So anyway, the white guy goes in there. He's obviously a country clubber, okay? Amongst other reasons, don't have a clue.
You kind of have to. Filiberto's expensive now. It's a whole other thing.
With a straight face, he walks up to the counter. He looks at the menu. He says to the lady behind the counter, "What's in the chicken burrito?" And I'm like, okay. And the lady with a straight face says to him, "Chicken?" And I went,
You text me, I laughed. I'm still laughing a week later. What's in the chicken burrito? Chicken?
"Chicken."
That's like a mom answer, right?
Yeah.
Chicken.
"Chicken, you friggin' moron. That's what's in the chicken burrito. Chicken.
I get where he's coming from, though. Is there pico in there? Is there cheese or beans?
I get it, too.
Chicken.
But the way she said it, she just looked at him, all straight face, all serious. Chicken.
That is so something. Because that's something I would have said to my kids.
And then he looks at her and he goes, oh, okay. I'll have the chicken burrito.
No extra questions. This is what kills me. Because I would have been like, okay, we're going to play that. Is there cheese? Is there beans? I'm going to start listing stuff,
Is there
right?
tortilla?
What's in that? Well, burrito, a tortilla, I feel like.
Oh, my God.
But yeah.
Chicken?
A beautiful puppy.
Fucking chicken. Whatever.
That is hilarious. That is really funny.
So then, was it the same night? Yeah. So after dashing on Friday night, which was, like I said, a shit show, my daughter, Jade. They all start with J. All my daughter's name starts with J.
All our kids are J's.
So I screw it up all the time.
So I never get their names right.
So my daughter, Jade, has 2 prescriptions at the Walgreens down the road. So I pull up.
And we go to pick up those prescriptions before we order dinner because we don't want dinner to be hot.
Right.
So we have to drive from one side of town back all the way to the other side of town to the pharmacy
and
then drive back to get dinner because,
So, let me back up a little bit. Thursday night, her prescriptions are ready. So I go to the Walgreens and I pull up to the drive-thru and it's closed. So I walk all the way around and I go inside.
Oh, you had to give him the paper.
Yeah, and to drop off. She had 1 prescription ready at that point, okay? So, and I had a paper for a second one, so I walk all the way around because I can't use the drive-thru because it's closed. And I give it to him, and I says, what's going on with the drive-thru? And the kid says to me, the pharmacist assistant, he says, oh, it'll be ready tomorrow. It'll be ready and open tomorrow. Well, first of all, that's not what I asked you, my friend. I asked you what's going on with the drive-thru, not when it's going to be opened again. But whatever, I took it on the chin. I let it slide. Here's the paper, and I left, okay? So Friday night, after going through all that bullshit with McDonald's, okay, and I'm already like, I've had it. I'm done. Turn me over. Whatever.
Stick a fork
in me. I'm done. I'm finished, okay? So I go to the Walgreens and I go up and I drive up through the drive-thru. I'm thinking, oh, look, there's no line at the drive-thru. Yay! Which almost never happens. I pull up, there's a sign that says the drive-thru's not open. And I says to myself, you guys told me that this drive-thru would be open.
So mad.
Today. So anyway, whatever.
You're better about it than I am, I gotta say, because you park and walk in. I'm like, I'll come back tomorrow. I'm gonna get out the car. I drive through. I drive through everything now.
So then I go inside. So I'm going to go pick up the prescriptions inside, okay? So I go inside. And not only is the drive-thru closed this time, the entire pharmacy is closed. And the pharmacy is in the back of the store, of the Walgreens. I have to walk through the whole store to get to the freaking pharmacy, and it's all closed up. I think I have some video on that, too.
There was a big giant sign in the window on Thursday. I don't think I looked at.
So last night I was in here and the drive-thru was closed. This is the Walgreens drive-thru. And I dropped off a prescription for my daughter and I asked them when the drive-thru was going to be open again. And they said tonight. So I'm here tonight and it's still closed. Wow. Just wow. Everything in this town is just falling apart. And so I walk in the pharmacy and it's closed too. Thanks, Walgreens. Thanks a lot.
On Thursday, I don't think I looked at it on Friday. On Thursday, they had a big giant sign. I couldn't see it though, so I don't know what it said or why they were closed, but I'm wondering if Friday it said that the pharmacy was closed. Because Thursday, the drive-thru was closed, but the pharmacy was open. But Friday, it was all closed. So, yeah. And they were supposed to be open. This was like an hour before they were supposed to close.
And then Saturday, I was so busy.
Town's falling apart.
I didn't have time. By the time I got done running all my errands and doing all my chores and stuff, the pharmacy was closed. It was past their normal business hour. So this morning, I went to the pharmacy and I got the stuff for my daughter. Days later. Ordeal. Yeah, 4-day reveal. Oh my God.
It was a 4-day ordeal to get those prescriptions. But we got them. She's good. I'm glad they weren't like,
She'll
oh my
live.
God, she needs them to survive.
Yeah.
I'd be having to drive out of town a bit to go get them at the other pharmacy, which is not cool.
Yeah, which is kind of far away.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even know.
Because did
how
I
far
mention we
anymore.
live in the suburbs?
Oh, yeah. Actually, no. It's far, but it's not that far because they opened one right on the border. And it's a Carefree? I don't know what it is. Whatever that is over there. Yeah, I'm not sure what town that is. But it's over there.
Yeah, it might be Carefree.
It's not that far.
I think you're thinking of Carefree.
Yeah. It's either
Anyway,
Phoenix or Carefree.
whatever. Meanwhile, back at the ranch. Meanwhile, back at the ranch.
So,
The office.
the office. I was going to
How's
talk about
work?
Chipotles.
Oh, yeah, let's talk
That
about
was a
Chipotles.
score. That was kind of a win, but I feel really bad. So we go to Chipotles.
It was a win.
for
For us,
the
not for
The
Chipotles.
school's fundraiser is doing Chipotles. Yeah, let's eat at Chipotles is not a thing you'll ever hear me voluntarily say, ever. I go there when other people are like, hey, we're going to Chipotle for this, and then I have to go there. Or most of the time, I eat there because it's a school fundraiser. I'm not a huge fan. And although I did try sofritas this time on recommendation from a friend, and it was really good, actually. I like that. I might do that. But I also have learned to do half a scoop of rice. Because the rice, they get crazy, and I feel like the rice is cold. So anyway, I digress. So we went to Chipotle's. We got the fundraiser. It's $50 for 3 people. Because
That's
it's Chipotle's.
ridiculous.
Yeah, everything's ridiculous now. And I'm thinking, I could have gone to, what's that? Carlos O'Brien's for that.
For the same price.
But okay. So we went to Chipotle's, got the burritos, got the drinks, go to check out, and the cute kid behind the register says it's $49, whatever. And I'm like, okay. And I go, and this is for the school charity. And he goes, oh. And he makes his face. Apparently I was supposed to say that sooner. They have no signs about the charity. I didn't get any notifications. If we hadn't run into the teacher there, I would have been like, my daughter's pulling a fast one because she wanted to go to Chipotle's. But, which I was really seriously suspecting.
Yeah, I was kind of skeptical. Like, this is kind of sus.
The whole thing was very sus. I'm like, really? Because usually they send me texts and it loads on the auto calendar thing that loads on my calendar. And I know about these things because they usually send a lot of notifications to get people to go there. I get nothing at all, except for my kid that comes home from school Friday goes, or whatever day it was, Wednesday. It's a fundraiser night at Chipotle's, and I'm like, okay. So anyway, we go to Chipotle's, and she rings up, and I tell them it's the school fundraiser because again, no signs. Usually there's a sign that says tell us before or whatever. Nothing. I got nothing, and I got no notification, so I don't know what's happening. So I just tell the kid, and he goes, oh, and he pushes a button. And he starts to ring it up again, says, I guess he had to put it in before I ring it up. I have no idea why you would do that, but whatever. So I thought it would be a button at the end. So, yeah, and something broke because he started to look kind of panicked, started pushing more buttons. Then he looked really freaked out, went and got his manager, who came out, looked at it like this kid is stupid, started pushing buttons, and then he started to panic, and he's looking at the back of the machine. I have no idea what that was about. And I can see my amount. It came back up like, I don't know. Seemed to be working to me. I'm trying to over here with my phone, trying to pay, and they're like picking up the whole machine, and I'm like, okay. And then so the manager goes back in the back. Nobody says anything, and then the kid goes, "Have a nice dinner," and hands me the tray, and I go, "Well, I still need to pay you," and he goes, "I can't charge you. The machine's broken."
So
we got free dinner. I feel really bad though. Then so we go sit down and we're worried and there because it's whatever, and I'm feeling like a pariah. They could have said, "Hey, come back," and because they knew I was eating there, I just told them that. He could have said, "I'll let you know when it's fixed, so you can come back and pay." I would have totally done that. I felt really bad. I was still like, I don't know what to do. So yeah, so we got free Chipotles, and the people in line behind me, oh, I know they hated me.
Oh yeah, the line got really long.
The lady right there behind me looked like she wanted to throttle me. I was really starting to be worried.
All these people got off work and they're hungry and stuff, and they can't eat because Summer blew up the register.
I didn't touch it. I didn't even touch it. I swear to God, I don't know why machines hate me. I didn't touch it.
Technology in Summer. Oil and water.
So at least I didn't have to pay for the Chipotles. Because honestly, I don't think anybody should have to pay for Chipotles, but
So like I said, it was a win for us and not so much for Chipotle. I wonder if they were able
I don't know what happened with the fundraiser.
I wonder if they were able to charge anybody in that line.
Yeah, I don't know. You see, if the lady behind me got her food for free, then she wouldn't be so mad at me. But I don't know. I saw that they had to... Everybody else, they think they had to wait till they fixed it, which is crazy. They didn't make me wait. I don't know. I was thinking that. Did the whole line get all their free food for free? Because...
Yeah, I don't know.
I feel like people should have come over and said thank you.
We could have been heroes.
We could have been
You know
heroes.
what would be really cool?
Oh my God.
A bronze statue of you, because you're the one that really blew up the register, outside of
not.
Chipotles in the Norterra parking lot. Summer would be like, this is a bronze statue of Summer.
I did notice when we sat down that the kid who rang up the register was sweeping then. He wasn't working the register.
You're fired. This is your last night, Holmes.
He did go back to the register later, so maybe they just had to go sweep while they fixed it. I don't know. But yeah, they made him go sweep.
Oh my God.
I don't know.
Office?
Office? Oh, what about the office? It's been terrible. You've had all kinds of problems
Oh my
with the
God.
office. You've been like over there.
I was really pissed on Friday. So it's Friday at work, and I have this unwritten freaking motto or rule in my mind that you shouldn't have to freaking do too much on Friday, because it's Friday, right?
I feel like there shouldn't be any meetings on Friday.
There should be no
I have a
meetings.
ton of
There should
work
be
on Friday,
nothing.
don't get me wrong.
So we got this big, giant annual meeting coming up, and
Which is already a waste of time.
and it's actually
Meeting to sound stupid.
3-4 days from now, right now, as of the recording of this.
Thank God.
So anyway, Friday, I had a deadline for the slides for anybody that wanted. Now, slides are not required at this meeting, but anybody that wants to have slides during their presentation, the presenters anyway, to have that into me by Thursday, close of business. And I did that because Friday morning I came in and I finished off the slide deck. I finished putting it all together, did all the finishing touches to it. And lo and behold, it's freaking 3 o'clock, and I get off on 4 on Friday. This presenter, one of them, says, "Oh, James, I have updated my slides. Here they are." And I'm like, I wanted to reach through that computer and go, "Oh, too bad, because the deadline was yesterday." But no, me being the nice guy that I am,
Deadlines have no meaning anymore.
deadlines don't mean
real.
just nothing to anybody.
Nobody respects deadlines.
But the thing I was really pissed off on Friday was, no, this is insane if you ask me. So I'm going to call him a vice president. One of the vice presidents is speaking at the meeting, and his assistant reaches out to me Friday afternoon and says to me, "Oh," and I'm going to call him Joe Blow. Vice President Joe Blow wants to change the time he's speaking. And I'm like,
Kiss my ass.
you're shitting me, right?
You're really mad.
I know, I was really mad.
You were like,
I
I'm
was
not
like,
doing that
the
agenda.
agenda's already done.
What do you mean he
The
wants to change
agenda's
it?
published.
It's in 3 days.
Everybody that's talking at this meeting knows what time to show up to present. And you want me to change this? And I'm like, oh my God.
Those people
I
are
was like,
really high up. They think that they were.
I was
world revolves around
paralyzed.
them. It
I
kinda
was
does.
paralyzed. I didn't know what to do. I was like, I don't know if we can do that. And she goes, well, I'll reach out to John Blow, who's the head of human resources, because he's presenting
I
at
love
this
the
meeting.
names.
Yeah.
We don't need last names.
No.
Blow.
Blow.
They're
Yeah.
all related.
They're all related. Yeah. At my work, they're all a
Not.
bunch of blows anyway. So anyway, John Blow.
Oh my goodness.
John Blow.
John Doe.
John Doe. Okay. John Doe. Let's say John Doe. Okay. Joe Blow, assistant, reaches out to John Doe, the head of HR, and says, "Hey,
This is where it gets really good.
can we swap times?" Which I thought was really cool of his assistant to do, because
yeah, she's
you know
kind of
what?
trying to help you out.
Instead of
She's like, I know how much this sucks.
This is
She's glad
like-
to do this.
I'm gonna take a crap on your freaking dinner plate, on your dinner table, but here are some napkins so you can clean it up. That's kind of what it was like. Okay, I don't know if that's a good analogy, but that's how I saw it.
Horrible
That's a
analogy.
horrible analogy. So she reaches out to him, and now we're all on a chat together so I can see this conversation. And the head of HR says, what meeting? What are you talking about?
What meeting?
And I'm like, what?
You have this huge presentation to do in 3 days, and he's like, what are you talking about?
You're coming to this meeting, and you're going to be presenting for at least a half an hour.
He's got a 30-minute time slot.
John Doe,
I didn't know that.
head of HR. How do you not know that you're coming to this thing?
How do you not know that you volunteered to do a 30-minute talk?
So he says to me,
meeting.
James, how did I get on this agenda? And I was like, well, you and my boss discussed it, because my boss reached out to me and said John Doe, head of HR, is speaking at our meeting. And I was like, and he wants to come at this time. I was like, okay. So he's like, I don't know anything about it. I have nothing to present. And that was it. He clicked off. Bye, asshole. It's your problem. So I was like, no worries. I'll reach out to my boss.
You're having a panic attack.
I'll reach out to my boss.
Friday
and let her know.
You know, most of the people are out of the office because they've ditched early.
Right, yeah, it's Friday. Everybody's gone. So I'll reach out to my boss and let her know John Doe, head of HR, is not coming to this stupid meeting. I mean, this great meeting. Okay?
I'll be so happy when this meeting is over with.
Me too.
You hate this meeting.
Oh my
You
God.
do nothing but complain about it.
But
you know,
there's a lot of other bullshit that's happened to put this meeting together that I haven't even covered yet.
On the upside,
it's a lot.
The quarterly meeting you used to complain about, you hate this meeting so much you don't even complain about the other one.
Oh yeah, the other meeting I don't even care about.
The other
anymore.
one look easy.
Yeah, this thing has catering and all these freaking components that go along with it. I'm like, oh my God, please Jesus, just please, baby Jesus, please bless me. Anyway, so I reach out to my boss and I says, yeah, John Doe, head of HR, can't make it. And she's like, what? I says, he claims he knows nothing about this.
You're like, let's share the love. Let's play it.
Martha Washington. That's my boss, Martha Washington.
I
Okay,
like that. That's a good one.
That's a good one, huh?
But to be fair, your boss gets paid to have the panic attack over these things.
Yeah,
so
my boss makes it.
She makes a lot more money.
She does. She's really high up on the food chain. So, I explained to her. I says, yeah, the vice president freaking wants to switch times, and he wants to switch times with the freaking head of HR, and the head of HR doesn't know anything about the meeting. And she's like, well, I'll talk to my boss.
Sorry, I was looking at my cup.
Dolly Madison. I'm gonna come up with a name. I'll talk to my boss, Dolly Madison, about this on Monday.
Just let's do the president.
I'm like, whatever. Okay. So anyway, I says, so now the VP has dude slot because he's not showing up anyway, right? So we might as well have it.
And we'll give him the slot of the guy who doesn't know this meeting exists.
So we have this big hole in this schedule, and then my boss, Martha Washington, says to me, I'll just talk for 30 minutes about our department. I was like, oh, yeah.
Okay.
Good save. Psst.
Yeah, she could probably do that in her sleep too. So
yeah, so it all worked out. But I was like, this is all happening.
Report to her, so.
This all happens Friday afternoon when I'm supposed to be
relaxing.
No, not relaxing. When I'm supposed to be recouping my energies for the next week. Yeah.
I don't understand that concept. My Friday is, oh my God, I'm going to work my ass off and hopefully I can get off on time at 4 o'clock, which never happens because I'm all running around trying to finish everything up. I don't have that. I used to have Fridays like that, but it's been a while.
Oh my God. Let's talk Severance.
Okay. So we are in season 1. So I feel like we are way behind the ball in this one. Like everybody else is ahead of us, I'm sure. Because I hadn't even heard of this show till a few weeks ago. And we didn't have Apple till last week. So
Severance is on Apple TV. It came out season 1 came out in 2022, and that's where we're at right now. Has an IMDb rating of 8.7.
Okay, I can see that.
It has a lot of good actors in it, but there's an A-lister in this, Christopher Walken, and he doesn't have like a huge part. He's in. There's 20 episodes out right now, and he's in 19 of the 20 episodes. Severance is so weird. Reminds me of my work.
It's kind of freaking us out. So.
And hers.
Yeah, well, I work from home obviously now, so not so much, but I used to work in many years ago in a big corporation in an IT department. Now, okay, to be fair, this was not the same for everybody, I found out. So it was all cubicles, and they were the tall cubicles, not the short cubicles. So every floor you'd get off of, you could get off on the wrong floor, and it would take a minute before you realized you were even on the wrong floor. So I guess they all look the same. So I was always like, how do you find your way around? I get lost here all the time. I have to be careful. And then I said this to one of my coworkers one day. I'm like, this cubicle, it's a rat maze. Because for me, it was a rat's maze. So this Severance reminds me of that. Now, I said this to a coworker one day who pointed out he could see over the walls. It was a short people problem. I hadn't realized that yet. That the walls were the same height as me. They're just a little bit taller than I am. So I couldn't see over them, but everybody else could. So, short people problems. Hashtag short people problems. I have a lot of those.
So we're still watching Severance, and it is really strange. It's really, really weird. What's the premise of the show?
The premise of the show is
this is what's weird.
They put it, apparently it's a little chip because we've seen that now. So hopefully I'm not giving that away for anybody. But they divide your brain. So
this company does to their employees,
and you volunteer to do this. So they're not forcing anybody to do this. But what's bizarre about it is they do this, and then so they go down the elevator, and then they don't remember anything from the outside. They only know their first name because they were told that when they woke up. And so you have you become two people. They give you a split personality.
And Severance.
And they can't remember each other. So you have the work person who only remembers work. So if you leave work on Friday and you go out for your whole weekend, when you come back, your work self, it's like a second. You get into the elevator and then you get out of the elevator. They don't know anything about the weekend. There's no windows. They don't see outside. They don't know anything about outside or even themselves outside. Don't remember their family, nothing. And then the opposite, you have the innies and the outies, which is so weird.
Yeah, that's what they call themselves, innies and outies.
And so the outies, the person on the outside, is your normal self. They remember your history and your family and your friends.
But nothing from work.
Nothing from work. So your work self is being tortured, basically tormented at work and forced to work there and can't quit because the outside person has to quit. And they're not going to quit. They don't care. They don't remember anything. It's all hunky-dory for them. And to be fair, that I kind of see some good parts to that.
Yeah, I don't want to remember what happens at work.
I don't remember anything about work. Oh, yeah, that works for me.
It's too traumatizing. PTSD.
I walk into the building and I walk out of the building. That's work. I think that sounds amazing. Not having to suffer through an entire day of having to talk to G. we call some of our bosses by just their initial.
Yeah,
in the chat,
maybe that's better than my method.
My partner and I think she started this, and it was just a shorthand really for typing, but also because they can read our chats if they want to, and most of them don't. A lot of them don't even know they could do it, and they could care less. But we had one person who we still work with, but isn't our boss anymore. When he was our boss, he did read our chats, and we only know this because we caught some things he shouldn't have known when he was saying them to us. And so
be careful what you memorialize. That's the lesson here.
Yeah, be careful. Sometimes when we want to say something that's really sensitive, we either text each other on our personal phones, or we're like, hey, do you have a minute for a call? And we call each other to do a call so we can talk, and it's not recorded permanently. So anyway,
some Big Brother 1984 stuff going on right there.
It really is. It's weird. It didn't used to be that way, but it's become that way. So we have one boss at G who I have one of my other bosses who I really like. She's really nice, but she has to report to G. I feel bad for her. And Jay, who was the boss that actually used to read our text, he was a horrible boss, but now I work with him. He's in a different kind of position, and it's not bad. I don't mind so much, although sometimes he drives me crazy, but most of the time it's fine. And especially because if I have a problem, I usually go to M. But she was on vacation. She's on vacation, and I'm like, when is she coming back? Because I'm going to kill Jay.
Yeah.
But usually it's not a problem. So anyway, they all report to G. And if she messages us, my partner and I are like, oh God, somebody else talked to her. She's so bad. But we feel bad for them because they report to her directly, and she's crazy. And so one of the other bosses, M, had said something one day, I think she might have a split personality. There's something going on there.
Maybe it's a Severance thing.
I'm agreeing with her at this point. Like, she's crazy. She's just crazy, and she says things. And she went to one of my reports and she wrote added comments. You know, you highlight it and add comments. Added comments all over the place, and some of them were like, okay, that's stupid, but I can do that, whatever. And some of them were. It got to the point where we were like, oh my god! And so we reached out to Jay because we're like. And it was funny because we were in a call and my partner and I, we were going over this report because I'm like, you have to help me with this. Right. I'm freaking out. And so she got in there and she's helping me and she's like, I don't know what half of this is. And then she put a comments on this one section and we're like, that's her section. She's supposed to do that. Does she know that she's talking to herself? Like, that's hers. What is she doing? Literally, you know, you're leaving comments to yourself about this. And we're like, she's crazy. And so we reach out to Jay in a panic. We usually message and say, hey, can we, you know, schedule a meeting, or do you have a minute or whatever, because he's super busy. But we're freaking out, completely freaking out. We just straight up called him, pulled him into this conference call. You gotta help us. And so we called him and he drops in and the first thing out of his mouth is this about G's comments? Ignore them. I'm gonna talk to her. I'll deal with it. This is crazy. We're like, thank God. And we still went through them and we did the stuff we could understand and that we could do, but there was a lot we were like, we have no idea what she's talking about. This doesn't make any sense. This isn't the right place to do that. It was just a lot of that. But yeah, there's this one whole section that's hers that she's supposed to fill out, and she was like, this shouldn't be stagnant, this should be changing. And we're like, yeah, we were kind of thinking the same thing, but you're not doing your job. and we're like, you know, that's yours. Who's going to tell her that's her job? Like, she was supposed to be doing that and she's not doing it. And now she's scolding herself. I don't know.
That's pretty wild.
I think she thinks I'm supposed to do it and I can't do that. I don't know how to do that. So, yeah, it's been a lot. So, I can't wait till M comes back because we need those buffers. I need that
For
buffer.
sure.
I don't want to talk to G. She's horrible. If I have I'm to be promoted, and it's my partner the other day, I go, just to confirm, we don't report to her if we get promoted, right? She's like, no.
That would be a disaster.
I would have to quit. I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that. That's not going to happen. I would quit. She's like, no, I checked. I double checked. I made sure. There's two options. We're probably going to stay with the same direct report we have now, but otherwise it would be this other one, but not her. Not her. That's super important. She's basically like, you talk about you would never work for the doctors. Mm-hmm. That's G. I would never work for G. She's a lot like the doctors.
Oh my God.
But I feel like she might be worse because it's like two of them.
Right. I get it.
Split personalities.
Well, I think we're gonna wrap this now.
Yeah, I feel like I ranted a lot.
Hopefully, I'll be able to do a Friday Night Drive Thru on Friday night this week, but we'll see, won't we? Y'all be cool. Thanks for watching. Bye. We love you.